Hello and welcome to Yasa TV. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Yasa, and today I'm doing a match preview for the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final, Arsenal versus Chelsea. And let's get into it. Before I get into it, make sure you're liking the video, subscribe to the channel, put your score predictions in the comment section, hype the video, all of that kind of stuff. The match reaction will be out after the game, so look out for that. And make sure your notifications are on. I think 60% of people that watch this as well are not subscribed, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on the way to 2K, so I would highly appreciate that. Now, let's get into it. Our previous game, or the first leg, if you want to call it, at Stamford Bridge, finished 1. Nah. There was only a 1 goal difference, right? Arsenal beat us 3-2 at Stamford Bridge. That game, man. Do you know what I mean? I, when I think about it, it's annoying. However, like I said, we only have a 1 goal deficit between us and them. And only having the 1 goal deficit between us and them is something that kind of gives me hope. Now, how do I come to that? Because beforehand, I was being told that only having a 1 goal deficit, or like you're not gonna score a goal at the Emirates, like all these kind of stuff. And I feel like that's too cheap. It's a semi-final. It's a second leg. We have come back against Napoli. We've come back against West Ham the other day as well. So for me, if we play the same way we play with that intensity, with that willingness to get a goal, with that willingness to kill the game off, we will cause Arsenal a lot of problems, in my opinion. And I feel like that's just me being honest. Now, am I saying that Arsenal going to concede and it's just easy? We're going to go there 100%. We're beating Arsenal? No. Like, that's something that I can't guarantee. However, I want to see the best. I want to see what my team can do the best. Now, if I really... Now, this is where I'm kind of torn. Obviously, Arsenal are quite good defensively. Most of their players are fit, especially in defense as well. And it's one of those situations for me where the more I think about it, the more I feel like we have a chance. Because what I was being told after the first leg was that there's no way we're coming back. The Emirates is a fortress. We have no... They can't see us scoring a goal at the Emirates. Our team's not good enough. All these kind of things. And I feel like as much as we've shown a lot of frailties and, you know, conceding 2 goals against West Ham and whatever it is, I feel like our team just hasn't like really performed. And it was, we make a lot of changes. There's not always continuity. Wesley Fofana needs to be rested. Reece James needs to be rested. And Enzo Fernandez was looking tired here and there. Cucurella was looking a bit tired here and there. And I feel like all these things have played a part. And also our attack being poor as well. So it's a thing of both. So I'm not necessarily just putting it on one thing, but I feel like it kind of goes both ways. Now, let's actually get into the game. First leg, like I said, was 3-2. We even managed to give Gyökeres a goal. But if I get into this now, I could actually show you guys what I was talking about. There you go. Like you can see, we're here 14th of January, 3-2. 2 goals by Garnacho from outside, and obviously White, Gyökeres, and Zubamendi. Now, the White goal could have been prevented. Do you know what I mean? The Gyökeres goal we gifted to them. You know what I mean? By the goalkeeper. The Zubamendi's goal, you could say, fair enough, it was a good goal, right? Garnacho, I think twice at the back post, 1 volley and something else. That's what got us into the game. Look, fair, I've given Garnacho credit for that, innit? But besides that, he's been probably our worst player in the season. Do you know what I'm saying? other than that, that's the only reason why we were free to. Like, they had their best team, and I could show you guys the lineup as well here. Like, when I saw this lineup before the game, I essentially had no confidence, especially when I saw the lineup that they pull out, which was essentially their strongest team available. So, yeah, I wasn't really thinking that we would definitely winning. I thought there was no real willingness from the manager to actually win. That's how it felt like. You look at the team here now, right? For me, it was, even though you had you had the Chalaba Fofana. Obviously, Achimpong was there, but he was poor. The midfield pivot was all right. Ja Pedro didn't do anything. I think even Neto wasn't really playing that well. Estaval played well, but he got taken off. And Gu didn't really do anything. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's from their side. Their side, Estaval had fun at the back line, especially with Timber. But yeah, we conceded the goals, and like I said, man, we only have a 1-goal deficit. So, like I've been saying, it doesn't mean the game's over. You know what I'm saying? This shows our lineups from the previous game. So this is the Leeds game, and this is the West Ham game. Obviously, Gittins not available with his ham. Oh, I think it's a hamstring. Well, he got a muscle injury anyway. We started with Chalaba and Badiashile. Anyone that watches this channel knows I've always said you can't play some of them together. They're just not compatible. They can't work together. Hato was being let down completely by Garnacho not tracking down his man and leaving Hato 2v1 every single time. Badiashile was also not doing well, which didn't help anyone else on that left-hand side. We conceded 2 goals, and then we came back in the second half. Obviously, Arsenal played Leeds. They done their job. You know what I'm saying? 4-0. Gyökeres I think it was Gyökeres. I know it was Gyökeres, and I think Madueke scored, and I think Jesus scored, and I don't remember who the other one is. But either way, they managed to get their goals and won the game. And this is our last 5 results. So we've won all our last 5. Arsenal have lost against United and drew against Arsenal. Now, what gives me confidence? Like, a lot of people say, "But why do you think you could still win?" Like I said, it's a one-off game. There's something to play for. We're behind in terms of the score itself, innit? Like, we're behind, like I said, with 1 goal. So for me, I just feel like all you need is 1 goal to be in the game. We can't start slow. We can't start in any way, shape, or form like we're winning. We have to start on the front foot, in my opinion. Once we start on the front foot, we try to get that first goal and see if they can open up, and we try to get the second. Because the problem is this: the way I'm thinking about it is that I can only really see there's a few aspects to this, right? In recent times, every time Arsenal have gonna go down or haven't scored and it's getting tense, the crowd turns, right? The crowd gets less restless. I feel like that can go into our favor and it could affect the players. All we really have to do is make sure we don't concede any set pieces, which is essentially their best thing. Don't concede any set pieces. Um, Keep them at bay. You know what I'm saying? Don't just give uh, free fouls here and there and just let them have any crosses, and like keep the crosses at a minimum, clear them out. And like I said, we need to attack them, bro. We've already seen that Zubamendi can be pressed. We've seen that against United. We've seen that against Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? I think we were one of the first teams to do it as well, when we just press him out and he just don't do anything. Liverpool, I think, was done the same. That's one thing for me. And if we score early, you know the crowd's gonna want them to go and score that goal. Now, if we score, I think it takes it to extra time because it will be 3-3, or penalties, one of the two. I don't know how it works on this competition, but either way, or we only need 1 goal to still be in it, because not scoring that 1 goal means we're not in it. You know what I mean? We're not in it. Now, if we score more than one goal, then we definitely obviously win, and we just have to make sure that we are winning by at least a 1 goal margin. So essentially, we need to score 2 goals. Now, do I see us score multiple goals without conceding? No. But at the same time, we have had games where we kept a clean sheet when we didn't think we'd keep a clean sheet. You know what I'm saying? Like Brentford, and even in the beginning of the season when Maresca was here, we'd had games where we had clean sheets. The most important thing for me in this game for us is that we need this a couple of aspects in this game, or things that have to go a certain way for us to, in a way for me to say, you know what, I think we will win this game. Because some people say, but why do you not have chest? Why you not just think you're gonna win? Why couldn't you not just say you're gonna win? Because my club's quite unpredictable. Is the manager just gonna go easy and just go say, well, we're already out and we're just gonna see whether we can stay in the game or maybe nick something? Because we already heard the briefs that they don't really care as much about the Carabao Cup, and I hope it's a lie. I hope it's a lie, because that's the first thing we can win, and I want to be able to win a trophy this season, at least one, right? And I think that's the right way to start. Win one trophy and then see where they can build on that. That's one. It's not, so we start with the mentality, then it's the lineup. Is he gonna pick a strong team? Is he gonna pick that team from the second half? And I'll show you what I think, what team he should be picking, or what my preferred lineup would be. And also another aspect is Arteta gonna mess this game up? Now, one people are saying, whoa, why saying Arteta? Look, in the past, we've seen that Arteta has questionable decision making, even in games this season. When he scored against United, he sat back, conceded the goal. They love sitting back because they think they're always in control. So if you capitalize during your part of the momentum, you could still be within the game. So is Arteta gonna pick his strongest lineup? Or is he already in his mind comfortable saying, you know what, we can beat them? Now, the way I'm looking at it is, if I was missing Caicedo and some of my players and I'm still in the game, then why would I think that I can't be winning the game if that's what we went through with their strongest lineup and we didn't necessarily have our strongest lineup? Now, there's obviously some absentees in this game as well for us and for them. But in the meantime, I think what Arteta does is also something that can play into our hands. If he plays his strongest team, then of course my thoughts will stay the same. But I think if he plays a weaker team, thinking he's already gone through, that's when I definitely think we can win the game. But it still depends on what we do. It's weird. Being a Chelsea fan this day and age is just weird. I'll show you what I mean by putting the lineups out. I've put out the lineup builder, and this is what I mean. So I want us to stick with our Chalobah for final back line. Sanchez has to be back in goal. I want to see James and Cucurella back in the starting lineup. I would give Enzo Fernandez a rest and bring him on in the second half. So I'd start my midfield pivot, Santos and Caicedo. Now, so far from what we know, Esteval obviously had something personal going on. He flew to Brazil before the West Ham game, so he weren't playing against West Ham, and is also not available for this game as much as we wanted to see Esteval. Palmer played, I think, the full game against West Ham. Could the manager not put him in this game? That's one of my fears. And I want my best lineup in this game. I genuinely want to win this game. I would put him on the right, João Pedro in the 10, and Neto on the left, and the lap up front. Now, some people say, why would you put the lap up front? The one thing about the lap is it kind of gets the best out of João Pedro. And what I mean by that is, him just staying centrally, occupying the two centre backs, allows João Pedro to get the free roams wherever he wants. More to the left, more to the right. You saw him dropping deep against West Ham as well. And he could also make like second striker runs, which is kind of how he got his goal against West Ham as well, where he kind of makes his run in the back post and someone crosses it to the back post. Now, that's not me saying that I still sticking with the lap because it's the lap. No, I just think that it helps more. If we play someone else and we play well, we don't necessarily have the wingers that I would put in this lineup, and I'm not putting the guy who scored 2 goals that get in the first leg. Yeah, but if I put Delap here, if I put João Pedro here and I put another 10 here, he will keep dropping deep, and then he won't have enough time to always be in the box, right? And that's one of our problems. So I think I'll just stick with this. He can just sort out his little physicality bit, keeping those defenders busy, and then he can make that little second striker run, the shadow striker runs, whatever you want to call it, right? I think that would be our best lineup. And then if Enzo Fernandez comes in and adds a bit more to the game, if Santos gets tired or whatever it is, but that's the lineup I would go with. Now, what lineup do I think Arteta's gonna go with? I think he will continue to give Kepa his start. I think he'll stick with the same back line, same midfield, and I think he'll keep Madueke because Saka's injured. Odegaard will probably come back in this lineup, and I think he'll play Martinelli for the pace, and he'll keep Gyökeres up front. Now, one of the reasons I think he'll keep Gyökeres up front is because that's kind of what he's been doing recently, and he scored in the last game, because kind of just makes sense for him to keep Gyökeres up front. And then we'll probably see either Havertz in the 10 later on, or Eze. And those are the small things that I think we might see Eze in this lineup. If I'm wrong, we'll probably see Eze in this lineup, or Havertz in the 10, like he done against Leeds, and he may even see a Trossard, right? Or what could happen is he gets moved to the right. He comes off the bench, gets moved to the right, and Trossard can start. So those are the options. Obviously, Marino's also someone who we recently found out broke his foot. So he's going to be out for the next couple of months. So we might see Gyökeres, Jesus, Havertz get more minutes, or specifically maybe even Gyökeres. So those are my my thoughts and everything about the game specifically. And yeah, listen, like I said, my most important thing is we need to win. Like I've put it on the title, I put it on the thumbnail. We must win this game. And I think it's not just because it's Arsenal. Some people think it's just because of Arsenal bragging rights. No, it gets me into a final, and then I have a chance to win a trophy. You know what I mean? So that's all I care about, winning the trophy. So get me into the final, so that I then have a chance to win a trophy. And then all the other stuff is a bonus. That's how I'm thinking about it. My prediction will be 2-0. We'll win 2-0 at the Emirates. And yeah, listen, I'm putting 2-0 prediction in because that's what gets me through. You know what I mean? I'm not putting 2-0 because I think we'll beat them up. I just think it's 2-0 because that's what gets us through to the final. I have to believe. It's my team, it's my club. You know what I'm saying? You see all the trophies I have over here. So listen, I want to win. So make sure the team wins, bro. If they let me down, if I see the lineup and feel let down, bro, I'm gonna be fuming. I can't lie, I'm gonna be fuming. But putting that all aside, make sure you're liking the video. The ratios haven't been ratioing recently on the videos. Subscribe to the channel, share the videos. If you follow my social media, you can see when I post stuff, I'll post it up there as well. Repost it, retweet it, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, this the same name for TikTok as well. And yeah, other than that, like I said, leave your score predictions and your normal predictions or any thoughts in the comments below. I'll read all the comments. And listen, I'm out. Let's go win this. Let's go win this game today, man. Let's go win this game.